Beautiful, truth be told, you were heaven's own, sent to him here below. But he don't know what to do with an angel. No. I wrote Howard Hewitt's If Only when I was 19, 20 years old, sitting at a bus stop in Philly. What's up, guys? It's your girl Phoenix Novell with episode 4 of The Right Hustle, and this video is where I discuss the importance of protecting your music. Now, it's all good. It's all good to collaborate. It's great to write and vibe out with other creative artists. That's how you grow. That's how you learn. That's how you just hone your skill set. But unfortunately, so many people don't know the business side of it. And when they encounter something like being kind of like taken advantage of or done wrong, or not getting the credits that they need or that they deserve for something that they contributed to, it puts a bad taste in their mouth and it sends them running, and now they're jaded and they have this idea that that's the way everybody is. That's not the way everybody is. But if you leave that opportunity there for people to take advantage of you, they didn't necessarily set out to do it, but you didn't take your stuff seriously enough to make sure it wasn't possible. Like, this is why I educate. This is why I do these videos. This is why I am interested in artist empowerment, because this creative thing is amazing. It's important for the world, and I think it's a gift and it should be shared. However, so many people they're hungry and they're left not really getting the full benefits that they deserve because they don't understand how to capitalize on their creative talent. I spent probably just early out of high school, I was background singing for Latif, who was an amazing singer, songwriter, amazing artist, signed to a record label and everything, and was doing some touring with him and was practicing, rehearsing with him, and it was great. So I had great experience. And then I realized that I wanted to do this. When I saw him, getting up there and doing his show and putting together the rehearsals and getting with and being in writing sessions and seeing how the behind the scenes are, I fell in love with it. And so I actually started to get with other producers and writers myself so that I could develop myself as an artist in that way. And I linked up with someone who was signed to a major label, somebody who had a nice career. And I won't mention his name, like I said, because again, I'm going to tell you guys the story, but I don't have to, throw shade. But it was an artist who I was working with, amazing singer, amazing writer, who kind of like took me under his wing and brought me into this world that he was building. I was just so happy to be there, so happy to have that mentorship, so happy to be in a space where I was potentially going to be able to play songs on, major artists' albums. And everything was fine. I was in college at the time. I would go and do my thing, and then after school I would come to his spot. We would just write, platonic, nothing else but just writing, and it was just all business. And I enjoyed that world. Like, that was just what I did. And it went on for about a year, and then at one point he's like, I think I would like to try to get you a record deal, and I think I want to see if I could also get other artists to, cover some of the songs that we're writing. And I'm like, yeah. But I remember, and I never even asked. I don't think I asked for a copy of the songs at all. But I remember there was one artist who he brought over from the UK. Right, he brought over to America to record some songs with, and he had first took a trip over there to record some songs with her, and then at some point she came over here to have her write some songs with me, as well as to record her on some other songs. And it was so crazy because she had a copy of all the songs that she had done. And I think it was either one or two of my songs that I had written with this guy, but predominantly I was writing these particular songs, I want to say. She had them on her CD, because at the time we had CDs. She had them on her CD, and I think I got really emotional. because I was like, why don't I have a copy of my songs? How is this person who just recorded a demo of my song, how does she have it in her possession? And there was no problem. And I remember, actually, because I did ask him. I asked him, could I have a copy of the songs, whatever, after I recorded them. And once they got mixed and mastered and everything, I was like, can I have a copy? And he said, no, I don't want you to have a copy because I don't want it to be leaked. That was his thing. I don't want nobody to hear the songs before they're released. And I'm just like, yeah, but I wrote them. You know, like, I'm not just somebody who just demoed them or somebody who just a fan. I wrote them. And this was, like I said before, I really understood the business side of it. Like, this was not negotiable. But because I was in a spot thinking, okay, this person has access to, you know, to my future in some way and helping me get my foot in the door, I just took it like, oh, okay. But when I saw this artist months later who had a copy of my songs and she had no part in the writing process, it really did do something to me. It made me feel weak. It made me feel bad. It made me feel undervalued. And I lost it because I'm like, I knew that I should not have begged to have a copy of my song. I know that, like, it was like my baby, you know, it came from me. And why can you have it? Like, why are you allowed to have it? And why shouldn't I say the same thing to you about possibly leaking it? You know, but I was just going along, trucking along, because I figured this person knew more than me. So why don't I just step back and just chill? And unfortunately, it came out very bad because I didn't express my concern. And by the time that she was like, oh my God, you don't have a copy? So we're basically there kind of like building each other up. Like, she's like, no, you should have a copy of your music. Absolutely. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And again, I'm 19, 20. And so finally I confronted him about it and he still didn't want to give me copies of it. And it wasn't until a little bit later when he was able to, he got some interest, him and some other people got some interest in me possibly being signed to Sony. And when it was time for me to get to know the head A&R, I believe, this guy wanted me to sign to his record label. He was starting his own label, and I just cut off all contact. Because I realized at that point that I did not want to be signed and go through him to do anything with my life. Because I already saw how he moved before I even signed anything, and I wasn't impressed. And I'm telling you guys this to understand this. You don't need anybody to get you into the door. All right, let me tell you like that. You need to educate yourself. You need to understand that you can pay people to help you package things a certain way, and you can pay people to present your stuff to somebody else, or you can build your own team, a team that you are a part of who works for you. You got to understand that. You know, not a team where they're telling you what to do and how to run things. Even a manager should never be in a position to tell you how to run your stuff, what you can and cannot do. You got to understand these people are getting a cut of your earnings. All right. So when I say you don't need people, I don't want to come across like you can do everything by yourself, but I need you to understand that you are the hot commodity. Your writing skills, your performing skills, your ability to put your creations, to come up with this stuff. This stuff ain't easy. You know, these hits take time, and sometimes they come from a lot of people's personal pain. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta put some weight on that. And the fact that this person, this other artist who was a writer just like me, didn't think it was necessary to empower me enough to know or trust in me that I wasn't just going to go leak and put our stuff out to any and everybody or be silly about it, was an insult to my intelligence and ultimately led to the demise of our relationship. So I'm saying this to you. You put in that time and you're working and you're writing and you're creating and you are building these relationships. You need to be careful with who you're building these bonds and relationships with. All right? When a person shows you who they are or how they see you or how they want to do business, act accordingly. All right, get everything in writing, make it clear what the relationship dynamic is from the beginning, and don't put in so much time and energy to something that is not beneficial or advantageous to you. Don't assume that this is the only door that you can walk through to get to where you're trying to go either. Because guess what? If it ain't the door, it's the window. If it ain't the window, it's the car seat windshield. I will knock this damn windshield out in order to get to where I have to go. Like, do not allow anybody to make you feel like they are your only chance to get somewhere. If that writing partnership does not work out, move it along. Build another writing group. If you're not advancing or getting to where you want to go, move it along. Get with another producer. If people are treating you like you are a very small cog on the wheel, build your own damn car and find a way in if that's what you really want. But when you hang on to somebody or hitch your ride to somebody else's vehicle, then you allow yourself to go on unnecessary bumps that you are not meant for, you weren't built for, just because this is what they say it has to be. All right, so hopefully this helped you guys understand this business can be as beautiful as you want it to be. And it's how you build your house. First and foremost, the more education, the more information you feed yourself, the better equipped you will be to deal with the people at the top. And the people at the top just want to know if they can make money off of you. Trust. So do whatever you have to do to be a part of teams that help build you up. But you got to understand that you are a part of that team. That team isn't there just to, rise you to the top. You guys are coming together, but you have to make sure that there's respect, there's honesty, there's mutual advantages being, there has to be mutual benefit here. Otherwise, you just helping out and then they get there and they look at you like, look, that happens too. All right, so make sure that you are getting something in return and make sure that you are getting the credit. Luckily, when I stopped communicating with this particular guy, he wound up selling or pitching one of the songs that I wrote with him to Howard Hewitt's project for 2007, a 2006 or 2007 album entitled If Only. It was supposed to be, I believe, the single because the song is called If Only and the album is called If Only. But the business wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? This is what I hear in terms of, the track and not being taken care of, or again, I was never contacted or whatever, but my name is on the credit. Otherwise, we'd have had a problem. So thank goodness my legal name is on the credit and I can say, hey, I am a writer on that Howard Hewett project. Look, Howard Hewett is a major artist. Shout out to him, and I'm grateful for this person's connections to be able to get it there. But again, it was very sloppy, very shoddy, and in order to protect yourself, you have to understand you need a copy of everything that you create on. I don't care if you wrote just a word on it. You need a copy of everything you create on. You need to understand how the splits are being done for every song and every project you are a part of. You need to understand the business side of it so that you are not waiting in the wings hoping that they take care of you along the way. Because most people won't. All right, guys. Until next time, once again, thank you for tuning into The Right Hustle. Peace out.